She has been on radio for 6 years and graced our screens and theatre stages. Botlhale Nia Brown Biatsiwe is determined to stay. She's from Kimberley, and the 24-year-old has learned a thing or two about growing a career in the South African entertainment space, all the while understanding that talent alone will not get you through the doors, but rather that training in your chosen craft remains important. Nia Brown, as she's popularly known, joins us to discuss how she got her foot into the entertainment door. Well, Nia.
Hi.
Pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
But what they're manning must be very excited that
yes, absolutely.
They've got one of their own here in Joburg, and they're hitting the big time. YFM, one of the biggest stations in Joburg, in Gauteng. You must be having, what, 2 million followers now? In your own personal right?
No, I wish. Not yet. It takes a little bit of time, I think, to grow a following. Yeah. But I'm well on my way.
Is it?
Yes.
Closer to what, 1.5 million now?
No, man.
No, not quite.
I'm still in my thousands right
but
now.
you've got people who are paying attention to what you're doing.
Yes.
And the show over the weekend, what is it all about?
So I host a show, obviously on YFM from 6 to 9 a.m. So it's a weekend breakfast slot. And the show is very fun. It's very vibrant. It's very youthful. Yeah. But I also try to make the show very informative and very insightful as well. I think, you know, sometimes it's fun. It's nice to have fun.
Is it a kind of show that would excite me or put me off? And because sometimes it sounds like you and your colleagues, some of them these days, you want to stretch things, nothing wrong with that. But it's like the more you can put the older guys, the older folk off, the better it is. Then you know that it's working.
No, I think it's very important also to note that every single DJ has their own following and they have their own slot. Yes. You know, and it's very important to know that the content that goes with that slot will market to a specific age group. So, but YFM DJs nonetheless, including myself, we're very intelligent people. And that's why I don't understand when people say that we only want to turn up or we only want to have fun. We're very intelligent people. We do like to speak about serious issues. And we like to be informative in that sense as well.
You must be taken seriously.
Yes.
After all, you know, you can trend for a week or two and then go off. What's the point? You need to stay for 6 years or longer in the game. But how do you get into this game? You know, it's everybody wants to be in it. It's fascinating. Once you're in, you'll never go. Anyway, it's very addictive, as we know. But how do you get in?
It's a very difficult thing to get in, I think, for everyone. But I think even when I was in Kimberley, I tried to audition for Radio Demaneng. They didn't want to take me at that point. But before I got to Joburg, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I didn't know how to get there necessarily, but I knew what I needed to do. So in my very first year of varsity, I auditioned for VOW FM, which is the Wits campus radio station. And after that, 3 years later, YFM gave me a call. They had heard my breakfast show on campus radio and decided to have me on. And so we trialed for about a week. And after that, I was offered a contract. It was definitely one of the most exciting times in my life. It has to be. Yeah.
And of course, it gave birth to other things as well. Huh?
Absolutely, yes.
So theater, movies, television, how do they get into the mix now?
It took a lot of hard work and a lot of determination, and I'm not saying that I'm done yet. I still have a lot of work to do. But when I started on campus radio, that's when I was studying a BA in Dramatic Arts at Wits University. And that's where a lot of my theatre and my acting experience comes from, because I majored in performance and in media. And so one of the biggest theatre productions I think I ever did, which really taught me a lot about the industry, was at the State Theatre. I performed in a play called Mbeki and Other Nightmares, and I played Zanele Mbeki, which was amazing. Have you met her? Yes.
Oh, good.
Oh, my goodness.
And you met former President Mbeki as well?
No, I did not. I didn't get to meet him. He didn't come to see the show, but his wife was there, and I got to meet her as well. And she is one of the most inspirational women I think I've ever met.
Well,
a pleasure.
Very lucky to play somebody who's held in high regard by so many people. But the whole experience of theatre, television, let me go to TV for a moment. So how do you land roles there then?
I have an agent. That took me a while as well. It doesn't come easily because a lot of agencies right now are looking for people with experience. But I do have an agent, and that's how I got a lot of the TV roles that I have. But for the first 2 years that I was working as an actress, I got all the roles that I got on my own accord, which meant that I would always try to look online for auditions, go to these auditions, network with people, and that's how I got, for example, my role on Isibaya, my role on Ayeye as well. That's how it all happened.
Yeah, but the good thing is that everything supports each other.
Yes.
In due time.
Yes.
As you can see, I'm sure, for yourself. But the show, the radio show is the core focus at the moment.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to go back to the earlier comment you made about some of the listeners and probably the older generation thinking that young people, when they become radio show hosts, they're out there to offend or anything of the sort. But they do have their own personalities, and I respect that. For you personally, what do you think you bring to the party, that you bring as yourself, that makes things happen?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of curiosity, which is where a lot of my content on air comes from.
Yeah.
So whether it's anything from lie detector tests to, you know, a bipolar disorder and mental illness to party situations, whatever it is, whatever I'm curious about in that week is where my content comes from. And I always try to find new and innovative ways to put that on air. But I think the most important thing for me is to spread a message amongst young people that we can think beyond where we are, that we are more intelligent than we think we are.
And what do you think the role of the media generally should be, especially broadcast media? Of course, there's fun, there's entertainment, it must always be there. It's life. Life has got too many dimensions, so you fuse them together. But to you, what is the main thing?
I think the main thing is obviously to create a conversation, but also to create important conversation. Conversation that is going to change our perceptions, conversation that is going to teach us how to be better South Africans to one another, conversations that are going to teach us how to contribute to the economy. Things like that I think are very important to note, especially as a broadcaster, because we have a lot of influence in what we do as radio presenters, as TV presenters, as the media in general. We have a lot of responsibility on our hands. So what the kind of information that we feed is very, very important and is very, very critical to the development of the country and to the development of young people as well.
Now, Radio Temane, have they called yet?
No, they haven't called.
What would the story be? What do you think? If they call, what would you say to them?
Ah, man, I just think at the time when I was auditioning for them, I think I might have been too young. I mean, I was in matric at the time.
Yeah, but it would have been a nice compliment to say, hey, home girl, come over here.
Yeah.
We know you're hot in Joburg, but we would rather have you. And would you take their call?
For a job?
Or would they go via a PA? What would happen?
No,
Next
they
time
wouldn't
they'll go via an agent. You were there, you wanted to talk to them directly, and they wouldn't take your calls. You see, so.
No, the thing is, they've been very supportive. I think everyone from Kimberley has been very supportive for all of the work that I've done, all of the campaigns that I've done. They appreciate it. They've put me on air before. So yeah, it's a lot of support.
Well, good luck to you and everything of the best with the show.
Thank you so much.
And sooner than later, I'm sure you'll be landing a whole week gig.
Yes.
That's what you're angling on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nia Brown, thank you.
Thank you.
And that's how we come to the end of the show tonight and hanging out with the YFM after, what is this?
The morning after.
Morning after.
Yes.
Sounds like a Babala's thing. Morning
Of
after.
sorts, yeah.
It's meant to be.
Meant to be.
All right. Well, you check her out on YFM over weekends. The Morning After is the show that she presents, and we enjoy talking to her. All the way from Temane, Nia Brown, and doing very well on YFM. From us, good night to you. Until next time.